The whole town will say you're the best when everything goes well, when you make an extraordinary play, or when you score a key goal. However, as soon as you fail, that same town that once praised you now drags you down. This is something football players know very well, especially those who are under the spotlight of the biggest clubs in the world, such as Real Madrid. An example of this situation is what happened to the young Brazilian prodigy Endrick. But before continuing to explore the reactions and analyses on the performance of these players, it's important to remind everyone to please leave a like and subscribe to the channel to help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Don't forget to activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. First, let's aim for the goal of 500 likes for this video. Your interaction is essential for us to keep bringing quality information and analysis about football. Now that you've subscribed, let's get to the news. During the match against Lille in the Champions League, Endrick had the opportunity to be a starter for the first time in this competition, which was already a great achievement for him. But, unfortunately, not everything went as expected, as Real Madrid lost an undefeated streak of 14 matches in the Champions League. And, as expected, after this defeat, criticism rained down on the young Brazilian, who, however, showed his character by giving a strong response to the negative comments. Instead of staying silent or letting others' judgments affect him, Endrick showed great mental strength by facing the criticism with courage. These kinds of situations are common in the world of high-level football, where pressure and expectations can be overwhelming. Endrick, at only 18 years old, has experienced firsthand what it means to be under the constant scrutiny of the media and fans. In his first start for Real Madrid in a Champions League match, despite the defeat, he marked an important milestone in his career. In fact, he became the youngest player in the Spanish club's history to start a match in this competition, surpassing the record that had been held for 29 years by none other than Raúl González, one of the club's greatest legends. This achievement was highlighted by Opta João's profile on social media, emphasizing the magnitude of what Endrick had accomplished. Breaking a record that belonged to Raúl is no small feat. It is a sign that the young Brazilian has a bright future ahead. But, as often happens in football, individual achievements are sometimes overshadowed by the team's result, and in this case, Real Madrid's loss meant that criticism focused on the player's performance, including Endrick. Despite this, he kept his head high and showed an uncommon maturity for his age. In addition to this new record, it wasn't the first time Endrick had surpassed one of Raúl's marks. In his first Champions League match, Endrick had already become the youngest player to score a goal for Real Madrid in this competition, securing victory against Stuttgart. These kinds of achievements are indicative of the extraordinary talent of the Brazilian, who has been compared to some of the greats in football from a very young age. However, football is not just about talent, it also involves consistency and the ability to perform under pressure, and in this particular match, although Endrick broke another personal record, the team did not achieve the expected result. Real Madrid lost 1-0 to Lille, a result that sparked much discussion among fans and the media, especially given the expectations surrounding Endrick's performance as a starter. Football, as we know, is a sport where results are what really matter, and when the team loses, criticism is inevitable. Despite the defeat, the Spanish press was quick to praise Endrick's individual performance. The newspaper Marca, one of the most influential sports media outlets in Spain, highlighted the young Brazilian forward's physique, noting his strength and determination on the field. According to the newspaper, Endrick did not give up a single ball during the match, and his physical presence was impressive from the first minute. He's a physical beast, every time he crashes into someone, he knocks them down, they wrote in their match analysis. Despite his short stature, Endrick's power in one-on-one duels is remarkable, and this makes him a difficult player for opposing defenders to face. In this sense, Marca compared him to Dash Cappei, a Japanese manga character known for his uncontrollable energy and competitive spirit. This comparison reflects not only Endrick's physical strength but also his aggressive playing style and his ability to fight for every ball. Although he is young, his playing mentality has already impressed many. The same analysis from Marca concluded by noting that Endrick has a promising future at Real Madrid but still needs time to mature and fully develop his potential. Sometimes he gets too anxious to please, they commented, referring to the young Brazilian's tendency to try too hard at times, which can lead him to make mistakes. However, this is something that often happens with young players who are still learning how to handle pressure and expectations. At only 18 years old, Endrick has a long road ahead, but he has already shown that he has the qualities necessary to succeed at the most demanding club in the world. You need to be patient and give him a lot of support, the outlet concluded, emphasizing the importance of supporting the young player in his development and not rushing his growth. Real Madrid, as an institution, has a history of managing young talents well, and it's likely that with Endrick, it will be no different. During the match against Lille, Endrick had some opportunities to show his quality, although he was relatively quiet for much of the game. In the first half, he had a good chance to score, but he couldn't finish it. In a play that started from midfield, Endrick received a pass from Camavinga and advanced towards the opponent's goal with great speed. However, when it came to the final shot, his attempt was stopped by Lille's goalkeeper, Lucas Chevalier, who was alert and managed to prevent the Brazilian from scoring. These kinds of situations are common for forwards, who often face top-level goalkeepers in the Champions League. Although he didn't score, Endrick showed flashes of his skill during the match, and his performance was closely analyzed by the media and fans. Endrick remained on the field until the 11th minute of the second half, when he was substituted by Joselu, another of Real Madrid's forwards. Shortly before being substituted, Endrick received a yellow card, which also caught the commentator's attention, who pointed out that the young Brazilian was somewhat frustrated with how the match was developing. However, this is a normal reaction in players who are still getting used to the demands of the Champions League. After being replaced, Endrick went to the bench, where he was consoled by his teammates and the coaching staff, who knew this was an important moment for the young player. Despite not having the impact he had hoped for in the match, it was a valuable experience that will help him in his future development in elite football. After the match, Endrick gave a post-match interview in which he spoke about his feelings after his debut as a starter in the Champions League and the criticism he had received. Instead of avoiding the topic or appearing affected by the negative comments, Endrick faced the situation with great maturity. "I know the criticism will come, but I am focused on continuing to improve and learning from each game," the Brazilian said confidently. This attitude is key for any young player who wants to succeed in elite football, where expectations are always sky-high. Endrick made it clear that despite the criticism, he is committed to working hard to improve and show his true level at Real Madrid. Interviewer: "Your first start with Real Madrid, a very difficult game today. You couldn't find solutions to win. How was this experience for you, especially in such a challenging match?" Endrick: "I thank God for the opportunity to start. Unfortunately, we didn't come out with the win, but we are already thinking about the next match because it's a very long season. We need to work harder and harder to win games, and that's what we'll do starting with the next training session. Football is like that, things don't always go as planned, but it's important to keep your head straight and focus on what's next. The team has a lot of quality, and we know our potential. We know that daily hard work is what will lead us to success. So, despite today's result, I'm sure that with dedication and effort, the victories will start coming. It's part of growing as a player and as a team. We can't get discouraged by one game, and we're all already focused on the next challenge." Interviewer: "Your first start with Real Madrid, a very tough game today. You couldn't find solutions to win." Endrick: "I thank God for the opportunity to start. Unfortunately, we didn't get the victory, but our minds are already on the next game because it's a long season. So we need to work harder and harder to win games, and that's what we'll do starting with the next training session." Interviewer: "What did Ancelotti ask of you?" Because today we saw you and Vini playing as two attackers at certain moments of the match, the team in more of a 4-4-2, with you playing more as a center forward, a number 9. What did he ask of you at the start of your journey? Hendrick, I train every day. He always calls me to talk and tells me what's important. I'm here, learning from the others, and I'm very happy to be here. He only asks me to play calmly, to be happy, and this match was no different. When I knew I was going to play, he told me to stay calm and play my game. So, basically, I'm happy to be training with Ancelotti, who is a great coach, as everyone knows, and I'm also very happy to be learning a lot from him. Interviewer: Hendrick, we saw you in your debut scoring a goal in that incredible play where you went solo and shot. After the derby, you also tried that play. How are you handling both praise and criticism at the start of your time with Real Madrid? Because it seems everything is huge at Real, doesn't it? When things go well, it's great, but when they don't, a lot of criticism comes your way. How have you dealt with that? Hendrick, to be honest, I don't see any of that because, as I've said several times before, I used to look a lot. But football is like that, right? You can score a goal today, everyone is going to praise you, everyone will say you're the best. But when you miss a goal, everyone brings you down. That happened to me a long time ago, right? When I was at Palmeiras, I learned not to look. Whenever there are videos, I don't watch them. There's always that little button that says not interested. Those who use TikTok know, I always press that button, and it never appears again, thank God. I just follow the advice my coach and my teammates give me. That's what I do, and it has helped me a lot. What matters is the advice from my teammates and coach. What comes from outside doesn't matter. Interviewer: one last question, after these 2 games with Real Madrid, now again with the Brazilian national team. You've been called up. What are your expectations this time? Do you hope to play more, to be a starter in the national team? Hendrick, I'm happy to have been called up. There are many excellent players. There are many players going for the first time now, again. And we always hope to help Brazil. We're going to try to win the 2 games, that's what we'll try to do. I think for those who go for the first time, it's a dream, and for those who keep going, it's still a dream. For me, I thank God for being in the national team again. And that's what I want for my entire career. So, given this, in your opinion, from 0 to 10, what rating would you give Real Madrid and the performance of its players in such an important game? Were Hendrick, Vini Jr., and Mbappe at the level expected of them? Tell me here, and I'll be reading your comment. I really want to know what you think. If you can, leave that like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive our videos every day. That's it, people, thanks, and until next time.